Hello and a very warm welcome to the Pacific Coast for our continuing coverage of the World Cup triathlon season. There are 36 of them. Just in case you didn't see, Summer Rappaport, the American, was scheduled to be among the competitors here, but she has pulled out, which leaves us with 36. So there's Rosa Maria Tapia. We see her at number one. Serena and Ackerlund, and also Djenyfer Arnold. Arnold, particularly in the water, Helen, might be an influence here.
Yeah, and she's just coming off the back of that win at the Americas Championships in June, so in great form. Selena Clamp as well, World Under-23 champion in 2023. She's someone to be looking out for. And then Mikulakova as well. I mean, she is so fast in the water. She could have a real impact on the race today.
So away we go. The Huatulco Women's World Cup is underway. 36 of them taking their chance here with a field headed by the ultra-talented Rosa Tapia. So the leaders have gone round the second buoy, 4 minutes in the water. It is pretty calm out there, surprising actually. I thought after all the drama of the weather we've had over the last few days, it might be a bit rougher, but I think these women will be quite grateful the way it is in the Pacific this morning.
That water is going to feel warm at 29 degrees. It's tricky
when
the
water
is that, and it's really tricky when the water temperature is that high. I mean, not so much today because the air temperature is lower, but you get your core body temperature quite high straight away. So it really is adapting and dealing with that. It means that if you push too hard too early, that you could end up with an issue later on in the race. But like I said, it's a little bit easier today. We're not facing those 30-degree temperatures that we have sometimes here.
These sprint races, I mean, transition's key anyway, but certainly in the sprints, it's even more important. You know, races can literally be won and lost with a lack of concentration and an error in either T1 or T2. So out they come, almost 10 minutes of swimming.
And the Canadians there, Rosa Tapia second out, good swim from her. And
you can see all the puddles on the blue carpet.
There's a lot of puddles on that carpet. Rosa Tapia just coming through to take her bike first. There's Djenyfer Arnold, she's not too far behind. Mikulakova, who would expected. Selena Clamp, good swim from her too.
And Serena is right there also.
Yeah, not too far away.
She was fifth in Huatulco last year. Gina Serena turned 30 last Monday. It's actually only her third race of the year.
No, Tapia, she had a good, she hit her bike first and she had a good smooth transition. She's really trying to get this breakaway going.
Yeah, she's not going to stay there out on her own almost certainly, but it's just a statement of intent from the Mexican that she means business here today. And she, in an ideal world, would want maybe 4 or 5 or half a dozen would work also of those women behind her to come with her, or laps, of course. Remember, this 20k bike.
Oh, the conditions are not good out there. Confident riding though, confident bike handling from Tapia. There has been a slight alteration to the course due to the weather we've had and being able to try and get the course clear, ready for the athletes. We will see the athletes get a little bit more confident as well as the laps go on. First lap sometimes is almost that little bit of judgment of how fast you can take the corners, how the bike feels underneath you, does the road feel slippy. And it's also prep as well, beforehand, adjusting tyre pressures, having the confidence to put your tyres at the right pressure. If you've got good coaches, good people around you that you can listen to for advice, that's always really helpful. But we know Tapia's there.
Yeah, just trying to look back with the naked eye. It can't see too many in the distance, Helen, actually. We've got these 11, and I think they've pretty much got away now.
Yeah.
And obviously these conditions not going to get any better because it's still hammering down. If anything, it's going to get worse, so they still have to maintain complete concentration. So the leaders have taken the bell. They're on their last lap now, and you saw those timings that finally went up a moment ago, and it told you that there was near enough a 45-second gap between the leading 11 and the rider in 12th, who that chasing pack. Tamara Gorman, as mentioned, she got spat out of that lead group, and she's now in the chasers, 3/4 of a minute behind.
when you hear that bell and you're like, right, okay, I've only got to survive one more lap of this. And then when you get out to the run, it's just so much easier because everything's in your control once you get to the run. You know, you're not being affected by the pace that someone else is setting, or losing that tension you're feeling of kind of going around the corners and thinking, please don't let my wheels slip out. So last few corners to navigate. One of the trickiest parts of the course left in terms of the technical part. Erika Ackerlund making sure she's positioning herself well at the front. She has taken this section fast, probably one of the better technical riders in this group, and she wants to take advantage of that leading into transition.
And 11 actually is a decent number in TT. There's not going to be too much traffic. So in they come, the 11 leaders, into a very wet transition zone.
And you get a sense of how hard it's raining there when you see it hitting the puddles. Oh, Tapia's out first. Sereno just struggled slightly with her shoe. So Tapia out. She was out with the into transition first, out of transition first.
Yeah, she's basically in a position of complete control, hasn't she? Literally from the start. And as I said, even when we had the presentation, there was kind of a sort of an air of confidence, not arrogance, but confidence when she came out. She was completely focused, and she's put herself in the ideal position. So now it's down to her. Great swim, right up there in the bike, and now leading the run on the first of their 2 laps over 5,000 metres total.
I'm sure Tapia has a plan. I mean, she normally does. When I remember back from when she got that podium in Yokohama, it was a couple of years ago now, but she said she just listened to what her coach said to do and she executed that plan. And the plan was to build and really pick it up as the race went on. So whether they've got a similar sort of strategy today, or, you know, well, things don't always go to plan. Sometimes things don't work. But I wonder if she does have coming in a way she wants to race this run. Oh, somebody just fell over.
Gone down.
Selena clamped. That was clamped.
Yeah, and here's the replay of when Clamp took a tumble. Might have just run into the back legs of one of the women ahead of her. It's hard to see, actually. Sereno looks pretty confident, doesn't she? I like the way she's running so far.
Yeah,
that
she looks really smooth.
Upright stance.
There's Tapia, there's Bravo. Arnold just coming under pressure there as they went up the hill. It's only a small gap, it's only a few strides, but she's going to try and make that back up on this slight downhill now. Sima Loti there on the right, we haven't spoken much about her. She was really talented junior. She won the World Junior Championships, I think it was back in 2019, and then had a few years out of the sport, just really struggled through different issues, but it's been really good to see her coming back in, mainly on the World Cup circuit over the last year, and those results are just gradually improving, race by race, and I'd say this is one of the first times we've seen her in the position to win a medal for a good few years.
Well, she definitely is in a position to win a medal because they take the bell. They've only got 2,500 metres to go, and the half dozen at the front, not separated by very much. In fact, there are 7 of them now. Elizabeth Bravo, by the way, is 38. It might be a weekend for the how can we put it, the more mature triathletes after what happened with Choquer yesterday in the Duathlon World Championships. She's only a year younger than him.
Yeah, I mean, she's won a World Cup. It was back in 2017, so it was a little while ago that she's won a World Cup.
But it's Ackerlund and Sereno front and centre.
Yeah, Ackerlund's done well. She did look at one point that she was just sat a bit further back in the group, but definitely recovered, moving forward.
The Americans might both finish on the podium here, because at the moment Ackerlund leads from Gina Sereno.
But Rosa Tapia, I think there's going to be disappointment there. She's effectively, she's out of the race at this point, unless she can have a monstrous back end of this second lap.
And you can throw a blanket over them at this point. Little look round there from Erika Ackerlund, and now Velasquez says go.
Yeah, somebody is going to be the one to go. Someone's going to push it. I mean, I think Ackerlund has another gear because she's looking across, like ready to go if somebody goes. I feel like she's waiting. She doesn't want to be the one to make the push.
who's been very aggressive so far, hasn't she? She's been the one that wants to take it on. Velasquez had a little go a moment ago, but Ackerlund's gone back on the shoulder again now and back in front. Malozzi making a bit of a move, and it looks as though Sereno is the first one to really feel the pressure here. And Bravo's still not out of this. Trying desperately to hang on and stay in touch.
Yeah, if she's got a good sprint, she's going to be okay.
Ackerlund looks across again and sees Velasquez isn't going anywhere. Then Malozzi, then Bravo. Going to be a thrilling finish in driving rain here in Huatulco, because Velasquez and Ackerlund still look full of running. Bravo still chasing Malozzi, and those two may not be done with, but it looks now to be between Velasquez and Ackerlund. Ackerlund has to go round the outside because Velasquez has the tiger line. Can she hold on, the Colombian? Trying to lay it down to the American. They can see the blue carpet. And it's going to be a sprint right for the line. And it looks like Bravo's going to get a medal. This is going to be really tight. But as they come up towards the line, Velasquez is going to last hope just from Ackerlund, and Elizabeth Bravo at 38 gets a bronze. She outlasted Malozzi. What a tremendous finish, making light of the conditions. They provided us with superb entertainment and a brilliant win in the end for the Colombian.
That was so close. Ackerlund, Malozzi, Ackerlund and Velasquez. Oh, Rosa Tapia just getting edged out there by Michalikova too. Djenyfer Arnold coming in there too, not too far behind, inside the top 10. I mean, I think that was definitely Velasquez over the line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Missed out by a medal by just a few seconds, as I mentioned earlier last year. And I think she's turned it into gold today. We'll wait for official confirmation, but pretty sure she was first across the line. A first ever World Cup medal for Erika Ackerlund.
Ok, muchas gracias por las felicitaciones. Tuvimos un gran cierre, una carrera con excelente nivel y bueno, fue bastante exigente. Venían varias atletas que, bueno, ya son atletas con muchísima experiencia, que estuvieron en las Olimpiadas. Es un momento que venía anhelando y soñando desde hace mucho y bueno, estoy muy contenta. Sin lugar a duda, el clima hizo que fuera una carrera que requiriera de muchísima concentración. Por el terreno, la carretera estaba un poco rota y más con el tema del huracán, que obviamente las personas de Huatulco intentaron hacer lo mejor para que la carrera pudiese hacerse posible. Esto hizo que la bici fuera un poco más tensionante. Y bueno, pero tuvimos piernas finalmente para poder hacer un buen cierre.
I was so nervous this morning for the race reasons, and also after my last race, which was back in February, a week later, I was in the gym and I herniated 2 discs in my back. So since then has just been like recovering and trying to get some training in. So yeah, I can't believe this.
No, it's the performance of the career, and it came off the back of some very difficult circumstances. Maybe that like focused the mind. Also, coming in here, you didn't really have that much expectation on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted a World Cup podium for so many years that I've almost like tried to stop wanting it because it just hasn't happened. And I was telling myself, having been injured, like, just try and get back in a race, get yourself back in the rhythm. It doesn't matter, but every time I can say that to myself, but I get here and all I want to do is do my best.
I am so happy. I swim good and stay in the first pack, and always carefully the crashes because have a lot rainy and don't see the holes. And in the run too, sometimes the girls slide, and I am so happy. Erika Ackerlund pushed a little bit in the second lap, and I have a little gap in the fifth position, and then we held Caro Velasquez really hard in the hill and down carefully, and then in the last loop pushed really hard, and the girl of Italy dropped a little bit because I really bad for the sprints, and they didn't take my moment and got to the finish line.
38 years young, her 177th start and more than 50 podiums. for the Ecuadorian. Great ambassador for the sport. Actually, she got her first bike that was lent to her by the president of the Ecuadorian Triathlon Federation years and years ago. It's a lovely story. As it is for Erika Ackerlund, her first ever World Cup medal. She said in her interview she wasn't sure she'd ever win one. And Maria Velasquez takes gold for Colombia. Just missed out on a podium here last year by a matter of seconds.